Hello friends, this is Anand Pai from Academy in Pursuit of Engineering Excellence. Today we will continue with our series of problems on students recommendation. Today we are going with question number 14, 21 and 22 as recommended by Manoj. So let us see. The 14th question is like this. A well insulated rigid hot water tank receives steady flow of water from two sources as shown in the figure below. There is no accumulation of water in the tank. The backup heater is provided to ensure a constant outflow of temperature of water of 60 degrees centigrade from the tank under the steady state. What is the required capacity of the backup heater to the nearest kilowatt? Now here one of the things we have to see is that, one of the things, just a second students. So here one of the things we have to see is we have to apply which equation? The equation we have to apply is steady flow energy equation. Now here why do we have to put steady flow? Because it is steady flow because it is saying that there is no accumulation of water in the tank. This shows that it is a steady flow. So we can put the steady flow energy equation. So what is steady flow energy equation? I can say Q dot minus W dot is equal to M dot into, you can say, H2 minus H1, and then there are other things like M dot into your specific kinetic energy, specific potential energy, which all goes to zero in this particular thing. So what is required is only this much. Now when I say H2 and H1, here what is happening? Every time H2 there are two M dots here and one M dot here, which is going out here as one, and two M dots over here. So inlet is 2 and outlet is 1. So we have to accordingly change this. How do we change this? Let us see. Okay. And one more point here, W dot is 0 because there is no work which is produced. So my Q dot will be equal to, I can say here is equal to, if I say this is section 1, this is section 2 and this is section 3. What is going out is that is 3. So we can write M dot 3 into, we can say H3 minus of M dot 1 and M dot 1 plus M dot 1 into M1 dot into, say, H1 plus M1 M2 dot into H2. Now here we have to understand that H is proportional to specific heat. So I can write this as M dot 3 into H, we can write Cp into T. Okay, also although it is delta T, let us take T with respect to 0 degrees centigrade. So I can write it like this, minus here M1 dot Cp, this is T1, T3, and this becomes Cp into T1 plus M2 dot into Cp into T2. Let us put it like this. So this comes Cp, you can take it outside, and inside M dot 3 is there. Instead of M dot 3 is M dot 1 plus M dot 2 because it is a steady flow energy equation. So instead of M dot 3, I can write 1 plus 5, which is 6. Into T1, I will say 60 degrees centigrade. No need of putting it into Kelvin or anything because we are worried about the difference. Okay. Then plus M1 Cp T1. Okay. What is that? Cp we have taken it outside. So that will come out to be 1 into 80 plus, here minus, I am sorry, this is minus 1 into 80 into 5 into we can have 50. So when we do that, Cp is 4.186. This is given at the starting of the paper. Okay, in the thermodynamics paper, initially they have given those value. So when we put that, 6 into 60 minus 1 into 80 minus 5 into 50. The answer what I get is 125.58 kilowatts. This is kilowatts because this is in kilojoules per kg Kelvin, that's Cp. So I hope you got the answer, students. Next problem. Next problem is this. It's a difficult looking easy problem. Okay. a combined vapor compression cum Brayton cycle is shown below. 1 to 2 is, now let us see what is combined here. Combined in the sense, here it is a Brayton cycle, which is a power producing cycle. When it is going clockwise direction, the cycle is going clockwise, it is a power producing cycle. When it is going anti-clockwise, it is power absorbing cycle. So my 1, 2, 3, 4 is a vapor compression refrigeration cycle, and 1, 2, 5, 6 is Brayton cycle, which is producing power. Okay, so this has to be understood. Now here it's a combined one. Where it is combining? It's combining at this place. Okay, first of all, let us see. The refrigeration system has a cooling capacity of 30 kilowatts and turbine generates a power of 30 kilowatts. Both are 30 kilowatts, fine. Okay, now always when you say W dot, the work produced, divided by M dot is given by delta H. Okay, now here the work produced in the turbine is given as 30 kilowatts, right? 30 kilowatts. And M dot we do not know. That is what is asked here. What is the mass flow rate of the fluid going to the turbine in kg per second? So that has to be found out. That is equal to delta H. What is delta H? Difference between 6 and 5 and 6. Okay, so it is utilizing it, and that is coming to be 538 minus 518, that is equal to 20. Okay, so my M dot is equal to 30 divided by 20, which is equal to 1.5 kg per second. So it's one of the easiest question we have. Difficult looking, easy question. Okay, next one. What about this? Here there is a catch. We cannot put it directly here saying that, sir, 417 minus 404 into 1.5. People will do that. If you do that, you're gone. Okay, because the answer through that method you will get a 19.8, which is the wrong answer. Okay, why it is a wrong answer? Because we have not taken into consideration the vapor compression side, which gets added up to this. So what is going here is 1.5 kg per second, here 1.5, here 1.5, but here it is not 1.5. Okay, in the case from 1 to 2, from 1 to 2 it is not 1.5. Everywhere else it is 1.5. Okay, so how to take that? To take care of this, what we have to do is we have to see what is the amount of mass flow rate in the vapor compression side, and what is that? That can be got by seeing what is the cooling rate here. We can take the cooling rate. Cooling capacity is given as 30 kilowatts. So cooling capacity Q, cooling, is equal to 30 kilowatts, which is given as M dot into delta H, because this is per kg which is defined. You see, H per kg. So what is M dot? We have to find out. So M dot is QC by delta H, and this QC is given as 30 kilowatts, and delta H is equal to 404 minus 240. 404 minus 241, and the answer what I get using this, the M dot here is given, I got it as 0.18 kg per second. And when I apply, now here this compression, what is the amount of power which is required? If you want to calculate, then what we have to do, we have to say power required, W dot, is equal to M dot, total M dot through the compressor, okay, into the enthalpy change, delta H in a compressor. So let us see what is that. So M dot C is 1.5. I'm sorry, I think you cannot see this. Okay, so here what we can do is this is equal to, we have M dot is 1.5 plus 0.18 into delta H is given here 417 minus 404, that is 417.2 minus 404. So the answer what we get, what I get here is 22.178, so many kilowatts. Okay, so the answer is 22.178 kilowatt. So I hope you have understood this, students. If you have any doubts, you can put it on the comments, and if you want me to solve some more questions, you recommend me there. And also my Facebook page of Apex is shared in the link below. you can directly contact me using the WhatsApp link given there. You can directly message me. Okay, through that also I will answer the questions. So thank you very much students, and all the best.